Monsieur le ministre Cazeneuve, Mesdames et Messieurs les organisateurs du Forum international de la cybersécurité, je vous remercie de me donner l'occasion de prendre la parole au sujet de la sécurité des données et de la vie privée. And that is all the French. Merci. Forums such as this, drawing international visitors from governments, citizens, businesses and research, serve a vital role in bringing us together to explore the threats and the opportunities that arise because we now all live in a digital age. Living in the world we do, and we all know that the way we gather, use and exchange information has changed dramatically in our lifetime, all of us understand, I think, that data security and with that wider cybersecurity not only underpins the digital economy needed to keep businesses, citizens and public services safe, but informs and punctuates all of our lives. For after all, trust and confidence in security and privacy of data is critical for businesses, for investors, and for every citizen in all countries. And against that background, we face a challenge. We know that the threat to the security of data is significant. In the United Kingdom alone, 90% of large businesses and 74% of smaller businesses had a cybersecurity breach during the last year. These breaches can be hugely costly and damaging to businesses. But as we all know, cybercrime and the wider issue of cybersecurity transcend national borders and boundaries. We cannot deal with these threats alone. Our two great countries already recognise the need to work together to face this threat through strong government-to-government dialogue and through strong operational cooperation too. The UK National Cybercrime Unit, part of the National Crime Agency, works very closely with French and other European colleagues in Europol's Joint Cybercrime Action Task Force. While the NCA has a dedicated international liaison officer located here in France so that we might achieve quicker, more effective criminal investigations between our countries. We continue to strengthen this important relationship, and I'm delighted to be here today working with friends and colleagues here in France. In the coming months, we hope to welcome colleagues from the French Customs and Police Nationale to the National Cybercrime Unit to continue to identify mutual opportunities in dealing with mutual threats. And long may this cooperation and collaboration continue. I think we are strong together. And it is vital that we use that strength not just to deal with today's cyber threats, but to do our best to anticipate what will happen next. And so when I consider the approaches we as governments have taken to set the direction of how we deal with cybersecurity and with cybercrime, I welcome the parallels drawn between your National Digital Security Strategy and the UK's National Cyber Security Strategy. This is, I suppose, because we recognise the two key themes and the necessary approaches to cybersecurity. First, that we must work in partnership with business, with public services, and with citizens to address this problem. And second, that we must close the skills gap in cybersecurity and cybercrime. So I'd like to outline how the UK has approached these before setting out in brief our broader approach. First published in 2011 through the UK Cybersecurity Strategy, we've invested £860 million in a national cybersecurity programme. This supports the UK's economic prosperity, protecting our national security and safeguarding the public's way of life. It will build a more trusted and resilient digital environment. Adopting the partnership approach, which, as I said, is at the heart of both our countries' plans, we have worked with industry to transform business understanding and response. One element of this is what we call Cyber Essentials. It's a certification scheme. Launched in 2011 as a joint industry and government scheme, it sets out clear basic standards for cybersecurity. We know that the majority of successful cyber attacks exploit core business weaknesses. Cyber Essentials addresses those basic weaknesses. The message behind it is very clear. If you adopt Cyber Essentials in your business, it will protect your business against the majority of threats on the internet. This scheme is intended both for the large businesses, but also for smaller firms too. And over 1,200 Cyber Essential certificates have now been issued by government. We're also working with the audit community to take cybersecurity out of the IT department into the boardroom. The Cyber Governance Health Check, now in its third cycle, helps the UK's top firms understand and improve their level of cybersecurity. This is critical. Businesses must see the threat of cybercrime, the issue of cybersecurity, as a key part of business strategy, as a key part of business plans. And we've made progress. 88% of our leading firms now include cybersecurity in their risk register. The National Cybersecurity Programme also invested in law enforcement capabilities and skills, establishing the National Cybercrime Unit located in our NCA to provide strong overarching responses to combating the most serious of the crimes. There are also cyber teams established within each of the regional organised crimes units across England and Wales to bolster the national and local response. We've introduced crime training courses for all police forces, and I've been speaking since I've been here in France with your experts on these subjects to look at the training work you've done and how we can learn from you, how we can exchange best practice. Finally, we're training police officers and staff in how to identify and secure evidence on digital devices. But now, this year, we're looking to develop the next national cybersecurity strategy. And we're going to nearly double our investment, 1.9 billion over the next 5 years, to protect Britain from cyber attack and develop sovereign capabilities in cyberspace that will continue to focus on the partnerships with business, public services, and with citizens. I was in an earlier political life, the Minister for Skills, who oversaw a substantial increase in the apprenticeship programme. I know how important it is to focus on skills. That focus on skills gaps in cybersecurity will build on the 2011 programme to improve skills at every level, right from coding in schools to cybersecurity at postgraduate level to doctoral level. The challenge now is to hugely increase the number of young people and existing workers moving to cybersecurity professions to ensure we have the skills we now need and we will need in the future. We will continue to work with industry, supporting the best cyber startups through the creation of 2 cyber innovation centres, and we will launch a 165 million Defence and Cyber Innovation Fund to support innovative procurement across both defence and cybersecurity. The National Cybersecurity Strategy also reflects our need to build on our capability to address cybersecurity threats in 2016 and beyond. There will be an increase in the capabilities of the National Cybercrime Unit to develop stronger defences for government systems, and this will include further investment to develop law enforcement capabilities at national, regional and local level, to investigate, to disrupt and to protect against cybercrime. And we will this year create a new National Cyber Centre, which will work with industry, academia, and most importantly, our international partners to protect against cyber attacks. Using these strengthened capabilities, we will continue to work together to disrupt the criminal marketplace and target those criminals who believe they can act anonymously online. We will also protect our infrastructure and financial networks that can be such an attractive place for criminals to head. But as you've heard, this is also about learning from partners, sharing best practice, and equipping our citizenry with a greater understanding of the character of the threat we face. These things can be done. Our conduct is for us, and as one of our greatest Prime Ministers said, circumstances are beyond human control, but our conduct is in our own power. We all know that the issues surrounding cybersecurity are not going away. The threat to data security and privacy remains significant. But although we cannot determine the circumstances we face, through the conduct we adopt, we can determine our response. By continuing to work in partnership, we can continue to tackle this threat. In partnership, we are stronger. Through collaboration, we can do still more. Together, we can face this challenge and overcome it. I promise you that was the end of the French, but I can't resist ending in this way. Chacun parmi nous joue son rôle dans ces efforts. Il est très important que nous continuions de le faire dans l'avenir. Je vous remercie de votre attention. Merci.